All right.
Almost.
Let's let them pour in, yeah.
Still need an epic soundtrack for this, guys.
All right, we're good to go.
Okay, yeah, everybody's entering. I hope everybody here is excited as we are for this very special day, launching Fund 7. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, let's give it a couple of seconds just for people to warm up the room, because Zoom is trying to admit everyone in, but it's quite a little tsunami of people. So
Yeah, so many people.
let's just give it a couple of moments.
Yeah, we're almost 300. Now we're back. Yeah, we passed 300, yo.
Yeah, so let's wait.
A crowd of people who care so deeply about this project. You know, they all come here live in the Zoom. Let's take a few moments to, you have it's really nice functionalities in Zoom. You can look through the windows into people's rooms and lives, and maybe have a little moment of connection and curiosity of all these people from around the world that assembled here, and all bonded, all care about the same kind of stuff, and all have a lot to give.
All right, I think it just keeps on popping, but I think we can slowly move the needle forward. So because we have a long town hall to go through today. So again, I will just give a heads up to everyone. It's a Fund 7 about to start. So there's a lot of content that we need to go through. There's a lot of people, new people on the call. So welcome them to the community, and just bear with us with the patience throughout today's town hall, as I think we expected to run into the second hour. So appreciate your patience if you're a veteran. A lot of this information will be repeat, but I trust you will find something interesting and useful your time today as well. But without further ado, Dor, I think you can take it away.
All right, so welcome everybody. Town hall number 1, Fund 7, here we go. Bigger, better, more coordinated. Today we're gonna invite Charles Hoskinson to give a keynote, and we're gonna talk about, for all the noobs here, we're gonna talk about what is Catalyst, what we're doing here, are these things, the outline of how things work. Then we have a whole new section where all the challenges for Fund 7, all the big problems we're solving together are going to be presented by the challenge teams. And we're going to make an announcement about a new pilot for Catalyst natives. And lastly, we're going to give you instructions about how does the first week look like. So, without further ado, I wanted to invite Charles to read our welcome message and bring us home.
Hi, everyone. Can everybody see me? I don't know if I'm on the list. Dor, can you see me?
I can see you, yes.
Okay, there we go. I can only see you, so I don't know if it's still broadcasting you. It says you are viewing Dor Garbish's screen. All right. Well, welcome to the experiment. Things may break, lack documentation, differ greatly between iterations, disorient, overload, and inspire. Our goal is to provide a safe and lively environment for you to explore the highest potential of human collaboration. So I am back here in Colorado. I was on the Africa tour. We were enjoying it. It was a very long trip. Started in South Africa and then went to Zanzibar. Met the World Mobile people there. Went up to Burundi, met the president. We went then to Ethiopia, which is a very interesting place right now, to say the least. And then to Kenya, and we had a chance to meet a lot of wonderful people, especially in the microfinance market, and then Egypt for my birthday. Traveling all around Africa, traveling around the world is my favorite thing because I get to meet so many people. There's so many cool people in the Cardano ecosystem and in the cryptocurrency space in general. And Catalyst is one of those things that just brings them all together. Fund 6 was pretty remarkable, 44,000 unique wallets, 10% of the entire supply of ADA participated, $4 million, 19 challenges, and over 150 projects were funded. If we look at the year, because it's November, and as we start going through the remainder of the last 60 days, we start asking, well, what did we accomplish this year? Over 300 proposals were funded, and Catalyst grew exponentially, went parabolic. And when we looked at 2022, at this current trajectory, if things continue to scale, over 2,000 proposals will be funded. This round that we're entering into, Fund 7, is $8 million. Fund 8 will be $16 million. And so the first thing I'd like to mention is this, something I like to call the paradox of abundance. So what is that? As we gain resources, we gain people and proposals, and we go from lots of obvious things to fund to too many things to fund, and we start having to make harder and harder choices. So even though the rounds are doubling, we're going from 4 million to 8 million, there are going to be so many good things that instead of just funding all the good things and not letting go of the bad things, you're going to actually end up having lots of good things that didn't get funded. So that paradox means that it's going to start creating a lot of open questions about strategy, direction, and occasionally friction from time to time. So what we have to maintain in 2022 is the mindset that made us successful in 2021, which is openness and positivity and the ability to empathize with people, listen to people, and also be very patient. Cardano is one of the most patient of the projects because we're the best. We have the best technology, we have the best community, we have the best science, and I like to believe we have the best vision and the best roadmap. But that's only going to work if our community shows up and they epitomize the principles that got us where we're going to go. And as Catalyst continues to grow, we're going to see a lot of debate, and we're going to see a lot of prioritization and strategy. So mindset is very important. The other thing that's very important is that we have to start building kind of a proto-government for Cardano. We have to move from them to us. There's been these custodial entities like the Foundation and Emergo and My Entity and others who have really carried a lot of load. And you, the community, have definitely taken over a huge chunk of things. As I said in my keynote in September, that Cardano's really become unstoppable and special. All the blocks are made now by an army of SPOs, for example. Well, everything from Cardano requests for comments to Cardano improvement proposals to the parameters of the system to when and how we hard fork, these are going to gradually start moving into the control of the community completely. And that means you need a proto-government in order to be able to start shepherding and curating that. The mechanism upon which we're going to start developing that governance class is right here, Catalyst, because you guys are the ones who are ready, willing, and able to make the largest contributions in that respect. So Fund 7, 8, and 9 aren't just commercial experiments about how do we increase the adoption of Cardano and solve all these interesting challenge problems and get Cardano to grow in population. It's also talking about how do we train ourselves and think about strategy, directions, priorities. How do we as a group come together and start making some hard decisions about what to do, where to go, above and beyond that. Now, big changes are coming in 2022. Cardano is open source, the code's open source, but it needs to be managed like a true open source project, like Linux is and other great open source projects that have been around for a very long time and used by so many different actors. So a big priority starting in January, I'm going to be in Switzerland for Davos, but I'm also going to be in Zurich with Fred Grigard and the Cardano Foundation. And we're going to have a long conversation, and we're going to make sure there are strong commitments that every single month progress is made towards making Cardano's development execution more inclusive. And this is everything from the version control systems that we use to get access, things, development patterns and flows, and that it's going to fit hand in glove with its proto-government. So Catalyst will be heavily involved in this as well. And before the end of 2022, Cardano will be a fully open source project in that it'll be completely governed as an open source project, just like you'd expect Linux or other great projects to be. It's a huge challenge because we have to balance that with execution speed, delivery speed. A lot of things have to come to market, and also make sure things are secure and there's consistent quality amongst the entire ecosystem. There are a lot of questions too about what do we mean by open source and what is the reference. So are the specifications the reference? Is the Haskell client the reference? What's the difference between reference code and commercial software and so forth? And each and every one of you participating Catalyst are partners in that respect. As I mentioned, 44,000 in Fund 6. As we turn on more interfaces, I fully anticipate that number is going to grow to hundreds of thousands and eventually millions of people. The challenge is we have to maintain our culture, our humanity, and our empathy as we grow from the tens of thousands to the hundreds of thousands to the millions. So we really have gotten to a special inflection point. We're going to start moving away from these cool, fun things that really define Catalyst in 2021. And we're moving into really the governance of a multi-million person ecosystem. And there's going to be a lot of debates, conversations, strategic priorities, and other things that come as we turn on Basho and enter the Volterra age. So I'm very glad that you're all here. I'm very glad you've stuck with the project, many of you for years, and that each and every one of you have contributed an enormous amount of time this year. It has not fallen on deaf ears. Really, you're the people who have made Cardano, much more so than any developer or particular entity. It's the community that always makes Cardano. And 2022 is the year where that wakes up and Cardano gets to the next level. On my side, we're going to continue writing papers and continue writing code. And we got a lot of HFC events to get through to finish off the original scope of work. But then there's also the promise of commercialization. Every single country I went to, whether it was South Africa or Zanzibar or Burundi or Ethiopia or Kenya or Egypt, they all had unique problems. Burundi, for example, only 2.6% of the population is connected to the internet. But because of the work we are doing in Zanzibar with World Mobile, we have a direct line of sight that by 2025 to 2030, 90% or more of the country could be connected to the internet with high-speed internet affordably. That's just possible with business model innovation. These are the kinds of deals and endeavors and efforts that we're going to work on, IO as a company. And I need Cardano to have the capacity to scale to millions to billions of users because we can bring millions to billions of users into this ecosystem and give them economic identity, connectivity, give them a new financial stack that's intrinsically fair and transparent. So the only way that's going to work, though, is if Cardano as an ecosystem is healthy, mature, open, and willing to embrace all kinds of diversity. So Catalyst is not a nice to have, it's an essential innovation engine for this ecosystem. And the work that you're doing here is going to create infrastructure that is willing, able, and capable of receiving millions of new users. In many cases, this is the first time they've ever been digitized and banked, and it's going to transform their lives. So you're doing things here that are truly extraordinary and exceptional, and it means a lot. And it's truly my life's work. And I know for a lot of you, it's become your life's work as well. The other really cool thing that we have constructed as a result of Catalyst is a decentralized innovation engine. So this is the Coti announcement. I'll leave it for them to fully flesh it out. But I wanted to talk for a moment about the significance of what's actually happening here. So currently how Catalyst is working is we have these challenges and people submit proposals against them. And the funding for those challenges comes from the Cardano treasury, which is very plentiful. I believe it has over $1.4 billion now, making it the largest decentralized treasury in the world. That's great. And that's going to continue in both proposal depth, challenge diversity, as well as the size of the treasury as we grow as an ecosystem. But what's been built under the hood is an army of people who analyze, debate, and ultimately decide where those funds are going to go. Now, why should that only belong to the Cardano treasury? Wouldn't it be cool if people who build dApps, people who build infrastructure in Cardano, in addition to leveraging Cardano as infrastructure to host dApps, can leverage the community to help them distribute funds to grow their own ecosystems? So in essence, Catalyst becomes a machine that allows every dApp developer to be able to grow their ecosystems in tandem. And so this is an experiment that we're conducting with Coti, and Coti is going to have their own challenge, and they'll discuss that a little bit today. But I anticipate if it's successful, that we'll eventually see dozens, if not hundreds, of independent ecosystems coming in and utilizing the Catalyst framework in order to provide governance, decision-making, vetting, acceleration, incubation, and venture capital for their ecosystems and to grow their ecosystems. So those who participate in Catalyst, you're not just talking about Cardano, the open source project, the infrastructure, you're also talking about the ecosystem of Cardano, the DApps of Cardano, the partners of Cardano, the alliances of Cardano. And you could end up in many ways steering an entire movement of millions to billions of people in a particular direction. So thank you all for your service in this respect. And the innovations continue, the experiments continue. Every fundraising round, we try to fund 7, fund 8, fund 9. We try to add new things, new experiments. And that's the true notion of agility. This has always been our most agile project. And as I worry about the nuts and bolts of getting all the pieces to work together, Dor does with you guys a phenomenal job of showing us where we're going and making sure the community's rallied. So thank you, Dor, for everything. And thank you, community, for everything. And I can't wait to see what you all vote for Fund 7. I think we'll probably have 300-400 proposals funded this time around, which is pretty extraordinary. And here's to a great year that we're going into. 2022 is going to be even better than the explosive, amazing year of 2021.
Yeah. Thank you, Charles. That was incredible. Very inspiring. Thank you so much for showing up today and sharing your perspective. Really appreciate it. Lots of gratitude. Let us continue. As Charles thanked me, I'm just the front man for the works of dozens of people in our Catalyst crew. I want to take a moment to acknowledge all their hard work. So really thank you. Nemanja, Chris, Harris, Mike, Phil, Bosco, Michael, Derek, Daniel, Eugene, Giacomo, Alex, Marek, Emily, Agustina, Juan, German, Enzo, Eric, Guillermo, Bincheng, Roman, Maria, Dimitro, Philip, Dinal, Jer, Roman, Charles, Tamara, Tim, Anna, Rod, Eric, Ben, Matthew, TK, Kevin, Philip, Alex, Nicola, Junkon, Yam, Lara, Joel, Samuel, John, Michael, Tim, Kaslav, Victor, J. Carlos, Tvestan, and many more. These guys been working hard, been working weekends, been working long hours, been working in ambiguity and uncertainty, and just went for it and are producing this amazing experiment that we all have the privilege to participate in. So much gratitude for all these people that are just doing the work in the background quietly, just lots of gratitude. And then on the other side, we have all of you, we have everybody here. Those who make it happen, make the magic happen. The advisors, the proposers, the funded cohorts, the voters, the challenge teams, the communicators, the doers, and the lurkers, especially the lurkers that are waiting for their moment to shine, waiting for the right moment to step into a role, take responsibility, take part of this movement. We love you, appreciate you. So let's talk about the current state of Catalyst. We just finished Fund 6 is 4 million. We're starting the 8 million. We're going to target to getting to a 6 million fund size. So we're on track. More than 40,000 members in ID scale, 10% of the voters engaged in the process, 45,000 unique wallets voting, 900 proposers, 630 community advisors, 150 referrers, and on average, around a bit more than 5,000 listeners, like people tuning in to our town hall every week. This is exceeds all our expectations, right? When we started this project, approximately a year ago. So what is Project Catalyst? We're answering the question, how can the Cardano community govern Cardano in a fair and impactful way? Currently, the Treasury is holding 1.35 billion. Of course, this is very dynamic. It's always been very dynamic. And we have these three major phases of how we're doing this. It all starts with the ROI of the Treasury. And when we say ROI, we don't mean return on investment. We mean return on intention. Okay, we keep asking ourselves, are the actions, our outcomes match what we intended to do as we're launching and funding and making decisions? And we have three processes supporting that. The first one is the innovation process, the one we're starting today, where we make good proposals that are addressing problems in the most effective way and working together to do that. Then we have the governance phase. We're trying to make decisions. We're discerning which of this bank of proposals we generated, of good ideas, which ones are we funding? Which ones are we finding the most likely to produce the most return on intention? And then the third phase, execution, is where those funded proposals receive professional support, mentorship, advice, coordination between themselves and between them and the challenge teams, and are actually executing, producing, reporting their outcomes, and helping us learn what is going well and what needs to be improved. So basically, this whole thing we're doing, we are solving wicked problems together. We're setting challenges, we're deploying the solutions, we measure how well we're doing, we look at this return on intention, we're looking if we're going in the right direction, and then we think and we iterate. Every fund, we launch new things and we learn and we improve. And where we're gonna end up is gonna be beyond our wildest dreams, because reality is always more intricate and more complex and more fascinating than our fantasies that are dependent on some past perceptions. So Fund 7 is now, mid-February 2022, we're gonna launch Fund 8. And then around end of April, we're gonna launch Fund 9. I think we have all right, anyway. So crowds can explore without cuffs. This is what's novel in what this Catalyst is doing. Because we're setting challenges and we're not setting regular challenges, we're setting really hard problems, okay? There isn't any clear solution to the type of challenges we're bringing up. Because anybody can propose an idea and we'll work together to improve them in a transparent way. And because voting is distributed between many stakeholders and advisors and consultants, okay, we are not limiting the crowds to do small tasks like a mechanical Turk or something like that. We're actually removing those barriers, and we're seeing how far can we go if you can just freely innovate and freely do. Sorry. Oh. So we are stewarding a non-rivalrous process, okay, and which is completely different than everything we knew before about how the world works, how school works, how work works, how government and institutions work. We're doing it together. And we're sharing insights. We're thinking about the problems in the first week, this week. Then submission of proposals is gonna launch next week. After that, opportunity to give feedback and refine those proposals, given the feedback that we give to each other. Then a week to finalize the proposals. Then we review the proposals by a team of community advisors that assess them according to set criteria of excellence. Then there is a process of basically quality assurance. We're making sure those those reviews are good or excellent, okay, and constructive. And after that, it all goes to voting. Okay, then all those proposals after with their score, with their reviews, with their rationale, go in a mobile app, Catalyst voting, where people can actually vote and decide which ones receive funding. After that, we're going to tally the votes, reward the winning proposals and all the different roles that were fulfilled, and then those funded proposals start to get support. Okay, start to get the ability to participate in acceleration programs, coordination programs, peer support, etc. So what is possible? Danny shared with me, maybe it's Kriss. Kriss shared with me this scheme, right? A scheme of all of this, like the Cardano ecosystem currently, and you can see it's very, very hard to read, and there's like lots of projects. Things are pretty much kind of booming, but like if you double click on Catalyst, you would see that the amount of projects that have been launched on Catalyst are the same size as all of this ecosystem. Okay, so really roughly, like around 50% of the innovation of new projects launching on Cardano initiatives start here, and we're just getting started. Every iteration, it's not just about the projects we launch, it's about this kind of giant common resource, our capacity to do things and coordinate and be effective improves from fund to fund as we all learn together. We learn how to communicate, how to coordinate. People are gaining skills from developing software to developing business plans to making presentations and communicating and setting strategies. This is what we're here for, right? We're building our capacity at an exponential pace. And we're already gone so far, where else can we go? There's much more. When you think about projects like Linux or Bitcoin or Wikipedia, each one of these, you would ask someone, you would pick up a random person from the street before they proved their benefits. You would ask him, does it make sense that you will have an encyclopedia that anybody with an internet connection can come and edit and modify? Like, that sounds absurd, right? Do you believe that somebody can compete with a giant monopoly of Microsoft by making an open source project where everybody can come and copy the code? Like, that's crazy. Okay, and Catalyst is the same type of craziness. And I believe it will achieve the same kind of impact. And but just remember, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. And why do we believe that? Why do I compare this Catalyst to these other amazing projects? It's because we're launching a completely new paradigm, a completely new mindset of how value is generated in this world. And you think about regular companies and you compare it to what happens on Catalyst. So a regular company has a hard time pivoting. They need to 2-3 times, maybe a year maximum, if they really, really work hard, they can change direction and try out something new. But we're literally, so this year we launched hundreds of projects a year. Next year we're going to launch thousands of projects a year. Okay, so we're several level of magnitude more agile, more like in a way more quick, exploring the opportunity space in a much more effective way than what is how a normal company acts. Normal companies are having a very hard time to both explore, so innovate, and exploit. Let's say, commercialize or increase profits on already discovered venues of revenue. In the pace of around 75, there's a 75% of failure rates when companies trying to launch new initiatives. Okay, when they used to have the other way of working, but here we don't have this constraint, right? We don't have all to follow on the same line, the same practices. Each team is autonomous. We can develop their own tools, their own way to work, their own processes, and we can hold many different types of activities in parallel. In a company, hiring a person can take months, and firing people can be extremely risky. Here, literally we're mobilizing thousands in a matter of weeks to solve new types of problems. Even thousands is understatement, tens of thousands right now, and soon hundreds of thousands. In a regular company, to act, you need to build consensus. You need to convince all the stakeholders, the different departments. Everybody needs to be aligned. You're sitting along, you sit and making presentations all day, trying to get everybody to agree so things can move. You don't need that here. Results speaks for themselves. Those who do rise to the top. If you're effective, you're going to get more power, more influence, more reputation. This is truly a meritocratical structure. And one where people with good ideas can just forge ahead and do, and not wait for permissions from many different layers. In a regular company, it's really hard to collaborate between departments. Everybody's trying to please their own boss. So there's not really good incentives to help someone from the outside. We are experimenting with a non-rivalrous process. We're all bonded by ADA. Most of us, or probably all of us, are ADA holders, token holders. The success of one of us is the success of all of us. And therefore, the all incentive structure is radically different. So why should you participate? First and foremost, interact, learn about other awesome community members, form real human connection. Build something impactful and meaningful. Learn and grow. Build your reputation. Make a living or just a supplement income for doing what you love. Okay, nobody's forcing you to do anything. This is also part of this, right? People can freely, you can move between the different roles you're feeling. You can move from applying for one proposal to the other proposal, from being a CA, a community advisor, to being in a challenge team. You might want to apply to the Catalyst Circle, but there's free movement, and everybody is in their place because they chose. That's what they chose, and that's what they wanted to do. Nobody forced them. It's your ability to actively influence the token price rather than passively wait for others. And probably most importantly, this is our opportunity to make history together, really actually work and set the foundations for something that is actually completely novel, never seen before. Many different ways to contribute. So as I said before, you can be a proposer, submit ideas, get funding for it. Or you can be an implementer, someone that works with the proposer to help them execute on their proposal. So you can think about proposers, it's kind of like the kind of founders of the project, right? Like the CEOs, like the executives of the project. Of course, early stage, they also do the work, they also do the implementation, and just manage. But that's similar to how regular companies operate too. And implementers is a bit more like an employee, a staff member, or a contractor, the people that help them realize their vision of their project. And this time we're going to have a whopping $6,400,000 in ADA available to fund proposers. we have the community advisors. So these are those who are reviewing and assessing the proposals, giving guidance to those who vote, also giving feedback to proposers so they can improve from fund to fund. Remember, we're building capacity over time. This is not a one fund and done. This is we're playing the long game here. They're referrers, so people who are like championing and bringing fresh blood, new proposers, new companies, new enterprises into Catalyst, increasing our capacity to innovate because we're bringing these people. And of course, being a voter, which is someone that can help us make good decisions by choosing the right ideas that have an impact that are worth funding. Then you have veteran community advisors. Okay, so these are people who provide leadership and guidance to community advisors, review the reviews, right? Making sure that the assessors making high quality assessments. And then you have the challenge teams. These are the people who are stewarding the challenges, that owning the problem, that give direction and coordination and share their perspective about each challenge, and to see the big picture and making sure we're all working in the right direction to solve big, hard problems. And you can see here the list of, and we have, I believe 23 challenges in Fund 7. We're actually going to, this week and next week, we're going to, the challenge teams are going to present them. So today, some of them will be presented, and next week, the rest of them will be presented. So I'm not gonna go into it right now. And I think on that note, okay, the order here was kind of a bit,
yeah, so now the challenge presentation is when Harris will introduce.
Okay, Harris, so Harris is?
And we can stop screen share and he'll
take it away.
Gotcha. All right. So Harris, Catalyst product manager. Welcome. Are you excited?
Oh, super excited. I am thrilled to be working with the teams. Challenge teams are really where we step up our game and help with this exponential growth that we're going through. And so it's super amazing to have folks step up into it. We had so many volunteers jump in, which has been fantastic. And I do have the presentation open, Danny. Unfortunately, I don't have the permissions to share right now from my computer. So is it possible for you to present the presentation of the master?
Yes, absolutely. Just give me a moment and maybe you can just explain further about the challenge teams.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll have to quit Zoom. I have a new computer, so I apologize. One moment for this technical issue. Allison will be presenting first with the rapid funding mechanism team, which is one of the challenges. So we had so many great ideas and concepts that were coming through, and it's amazing to have the funding. And what's more amazing is that we have the support from the community and the volunteers to really step into these roles to make it happen. And Allison, are you with us here? Again, we want to be able to cover each of these challenges with just a few minutes, 2-3 minutes. We've got a lot of ground to cover, but what we want to hear is sort of a little bit about what your challenge is, maybe ways that the community can contact you, and then we can have those teams form, get the support they need to really drive these specific challenges to be, fruitful and to have great discussion and collaboration in the spirit of Catalyst. So Allison, if you're with us, if you could please go ahead and jump in and present the few slides you have here.
Thanks, Harris. I am indeed here, and I am representing the Rapid Funding Mechanism Challenge. And our annual budget is $250,000 worth of ADA in Fund 7. Next slide, please. The challenge that we're attempting to solve is that due to this fantastic exponential growth that Charles and Dor and Harris and Danny have been talking about, it can be a little bit hard to deal with all those proposals at once, and it can be hard for projects to earn long-term sustainable funding from Catalyst in the 3-month cycles. And right now, Catalyst has one absolutely amazing way of distributing funds, but our challenge is to explore alternatives. And I should mention that our challenge was sponsored by the Catalyst Circle version 1. Next slide, please. So exploring the solutions to finding success, we're looking for alternatives to fund and scale distributions. We're looking for alternatives for different ways to rapidly distribute treasury funds. And we're looking for alternatives for diverse funding mechanisms for different types of projects. So different ways of distributing funds is what we're looking for people to propose on. Next slide, please. So we're seeking different funding mechanisms that are in line with Project Catalyst and are scalable, transparent, accountable, and most of all, rapid. Next slide. Beyond being a challenge team, the vision of the Rapid Funding Mechanism Challenge team is to build a community hub. So we'll provide support and guidance for all RFM proposers through our Slack workspace. We want to encourage open community and communication and collaboration, and we hope to provide actionable feedback for proposers before their proposals are locked for CA review. Next slide, please. Our goals moving forward, we plan to resubmit our challenge in Fund 7 so that it'll exist again in Fund 8. We also plan to provide post-Fund 7 support and guidance for those proposals that are funded. And we want to build a community of practice and create best practice playbooks around what makes a challenge team work well. Next slide, please. The challenge team is myself, Alison Fromm, Felix Weber, Nori Nishigaya, Tim Cooper, and Tyler Wales. And you can, next slide, please. Stay in touch with us through our challenge and idea scale. Hopefully somebody can drop the links into the chat. Here's the link to our Slack workspace and our Git book. And that is it.
Thank you so much, Alison. That was perfect. Nice and brief, but really highlighting kind of what that challenge team is focused on. So if you have ideas related to this specific challenge, definitely those proposals are what we'll be looking for in the coming weeks. And Alison and the team are there to support that effort and coordinate. Thank you so much, Alison. Up next, we have community events, which is another great challenge. And Dominic, I believe you're up to present your slides on this specific challenge.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Dominic, and I present a new water challenge with the name Community Events. We have a budget for $200,000, and the challenge team is Felix, Nori, and myself. So what is this challenge about? There are already many community-driven events taking place in the wider Catalyst community, and yeah, we ask ourselves, how can these efforts be sustainable? So this is why we came up with this challenge idea. And the guiding question of this challenge is, how can we increase meaningful participation among the community within the next 6 months? So yeah, what does meaningful mean here? Next slide, please. Yeah, I think the community is the heart of Catalyst. So it is critical for the success of Catalyst that the community is connected and really alive. So events are very important part to achieve that. Because we as a community, we need places to connect, to discuss, to initiate collaboration and so on. So yeah, next slide, please. So this challenge is made for those who organize, facilitate, and host events that bring the community together, that introduce and onboard new people to our ecosystem, for those who encourage and empower people to build on Cardano, for those who help others to find their place in the community, and yeah, for those who take initiative here in Catalyst. So yes, very excited about your ideas and proposals that will come up the next weeks, and can't wait to see them. So that's from my side.
Great, and thank you, Dominic. And the ways that they have to get in touch with the team, I guess we can put that in the chat as well as share on the various channels. So thank you so much. Up next, we've got our DAOs Love Cardano. This is up next. We've got a few folks that are on this team. Who's presenting for this? Is that Luca?
Yeah, that's me. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Luca, and together with Diego and Aaron, Diego was the proposer of this challenge that got voted in. There's 500,000 in ADA for DAOs love Cardano. So really the key here is how can we make Cardano the go-to choice for DAOs to govern themselves. Just before I dive into it, for those that don't know, DAOs stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organizations. And you can see it as an internet community that wants to govern and fund itself on the blockchain. So there are currently no really tools or advanced frameworks to govern a DAO on Cardano. Most DAO tools are really on Ethereum, and I'll mention some of them in a bit. So next slide. And now that we have smart contracts, we can really, we can create DAO tools. And if we do have the right tools and support, we can really hope that a lot of existing DAOs and new DAOs will be created on Cardano, and that has a large impact on the ecosystem, but on Catalyst as well, I believe. Next slide. So the real two focuses that the challenge team saw, and on the long run, is that new DAOs are built on Cardano and existing DAOs migrate to Cardano. So we can go to the next slide, and this one will have a bit more text, but I'll focus on just a few points. Obviously, I mentioned that there are already a few DAO tools out there. Some of them are Aragon, Colony, DAO Stack, and all of them are on Ethereum. And so the idea for this fund could be a good outcome could be that they are, for example, proposers and are trying to integrate. Aragon, for example, has already mentioned in their plans that they're looking into, working towards towards coming to Cardano. What do good solutions look like? Obviously, frameworks or templates that really enable decentralized and automate governance. And who stands to benefit the most? What we really thought a large impact is actually Catalyst itself. I mean, we use a tool called IdeaScale, but maybe some of those tools and frameworks that will be presented in this challenge could actually be used to run the Catalyst fund itself. So yeah, if you want to reach out to us, you'll see it on the next slide. Maybe someone can pop it in the chat as well. We have our personal telegrams, but obviously we created a group. So if you want to join that, ask us questions, or just start the conversation, you can find us there. So yeah, thanks, and looking forward to the other presentations.
Great, thank you so much, Luca. Fantastic. Definitely such exciting challenges happening. DApps Integrations is the next challenge that we've got listed, and we've got a few folks. Is it Chris Keller that will be presenting, or someone else?
Hey, everybody. Yes, this is the challenge, the Catalyst Challenge, DApps and Integrations. Obviously, things might break, lack documentation, differ greatly from iteration to iteration. We're on the first slide here. We're geared for the highest level of collaboration, because I took the human out, because now we're trying to incorporate applications and everything else. So why is this important? Quality decentralized applications integrations will increase the utility and adoption of the Cardano network, and not addressing this challenge will slow down the adoption of the end users and developers. We go to the next slide, please. So what would be good outcomes? Novel and viable applications get built on top of Cardano, attracting users. Integrations manage to pull in more adoption. What do good solutions look like? Applications that deliver the highest amount of value with the least amount of technical sophistication. Applications that are most profitable and in demand. And who stands to benefit the most from this challenge would be developers and end users benefit equally when addressing this challenge. And so next slide, please. The potential directions of the challenge: swaps, interactive marketplaces, NFTs, NFT marketplaces, payment solutions, integrations with existing products, gadgets, data, and social tools, community events, and avatar admin tokens. And for this challenge, we're going to be developing a scope of metrics to track the progress of the current proposals and make the challenge fair and the goals effective. Please stay tuned. We'll be continuing making interviews for the projects and measuring impact, feasibility, and clarity. We'll use resources to aid and integrate, and please feel free to reach out to us on Telegram. It will be on the last slide, and you can find myself, Andre, or Raj. We will be Happy to answer questions. I see we didn't have the final update there, so I will get to our tags, and thanks for listening, guys. DApps and integrations.
Woo! Yeah, thank you so much, Kriss. Fantastic update. It's amazing, like so many of these great ideas coming out. And so as you're thinking and seeing these presentations for these challenge teams, like find what associates to you, like what do you care about and what proposals might you come up with that can help with these efforts, and then align yourself with these great teams that we've formed for these challenges. So please keep that in mind. So up next, we've got our mini low budget DApps and integrations. So these are smaller focused challenges. And Lucio will be presenting. Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Please go ahead.
And I'm here to present the mini low budget DApps and integration. Basically, the funds available for this challenge are $200,000, and this challenge was designed to run in parallel with the main DApps and integration because the briefs are really similar. But we decided to include 3 more guidelines for proposals. Basically, the first one is that the budget of a proposal should not exceed $10,000. The second guideline is they should be complete projects usable by end user on delivery. And the third criteria is that the delivery should take place within 3 months from funding. So in the next slide, we can find some concept. Basically, as we said for the DApps and the integration challenge, it is really important to attract new users to the Cardano ecosystem. And obviously, this will be more easier with working DApps, and it will also increase the utility of the ecosystem. But why we choose to introduce this concept of mini low budget? Basically, because in this way, we increase the chances of participation and funding to more team and projects. And we can expect complete projects usable by end users in a shorter time frame. And the challenge goal basically is to have 20 novel working DApps within 3 months. We created a channel in the Catalyst Discord server. You can see it in the next slide with the link. And the team is made up by me, Hugh, and Phil. You can find our contacts here. And we love experiments, so we will try to organize a workshop in collaboration with the Catalyst School with proposers, CAs who wants to assess in this challenge, and some experts from the community to basically provide a basic knowledge about some technical aspects and to try to improve the assessment quality in this challenge. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Great. Perfect, Lucio. Thank you so much. Definitely please think about your ideas and get involved. Up next, we've got Gamers Unchained. And I think Alexandra will be presenting for this.
Yep. Hey, everyone. So my name is Alex. I've been with Project Catalyst for about 4 months now, and I want to talk to you about Gamers Unchained. Make Cardano the go-to blockchain for developing gaming applications. We have $250,000 available. So I think everybody here knows that Cardano is one of the most ambitious projects in tech right now. And we're not satisfied with just getting into DeFi, decentralized ID solutions, NFTs, and all that. We also want to get into gaming. Next slide, please. So why would we want to do that? In my opinion, because if we want bright young talent to start interacting with blockchain and Cardano as soon as possible, then video games would be a really good way to do that. And if we don't do it now, somebody else will. So I added the chart here on the right side, and you can see the number of gamers in the entire world, starting from 2015 and with projections to 2023. And you can see that over a third of the world population is actually playing video games in 2021. So that's a pretty large pool of talent to tap in, if you ask me. So on to my next point. If you have heard of Twitch, it's the largest streaming platform on the internet, and over 91% of all video game streaming is done there. But whoever heard of Twitch also heard that content creators are really concerned about censorship and deplatforming and all sorts of problems like that. So imagine if during this challenge, somebody proposed a decentralized streaming platform, for example, and it actually was successful and it managed to rival Twitch. That would be quite the showcase of what blockchain technology can do. So this space, this streaming space, combined with gaming especially, has always been inspiring to me, because it means that anybody with access to a camera, internet, and a computer basically can put themselves out there in the world live, and they can show what they can do. And if they're talented enough, they can be successful and they can make something of themselves. So when you combine this with crypto, you give the possibility even to regular gamers to make something of this time playing video games, not just relaxation, not just fun, but also maybe earning crypto rewards. Imagine a game where you could not only buy NFTs, for example, but maybe, you know, earn ADA. That would be amazing. So next slide, please. How would we do this, and what do we expect of this challenge? Well, basically anything that has to do with gaming. So that could be games on Cardano, developer tools and SDKs, guides, tutorial courses, decentralized streaming platforms or gaming marketplaces, or who knows, the next big thing from somebody who combines crypto and gaming, which are two booming industries, and you never know what might happen. So it's really up to the community. As a closing note, I think this challenge will be a success if in a few months from now we have games being developed, tools, as I mentioned, and if we have more talk around this new part of the space as a result of proposals funded in this challenge. Next slide, please. So I would like to thank Felix Weber, Marcin Kugla, and Aiden, who are the proposers of this challenge. It's a new one, so it'll be interesting. For now, the challenge team is just myself, and these are the contact details. I'm working on preparing spaces for everybody who wants to participate in this, and give me a shout out if you have any curiosities. I'll make sure to make everything public as soon as possible. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Alex. That's wonderful. It's so amazing to see the community step up into these roles. Thank you, Alex, for picking up this challenge and carrying the torch as a team by yourself. It's wonderful to have that leadership. Thank you so much. Up next, we've got basically a category that doesn't really that can bring in a lot of different ideas, and it's miscellaneous. And I think we do have a number of great folks running this specific team. And maybe it's Phil or someone else that's going to be presenting for the Miscellaneous Challenge.
Yes, it's me, Phil. Hello, thank you. This is my face here.
Whoa!
So yeah, the MISC Challenge was something to catch all the bits and pieces that are currently being missed by the other challenges. So if you pop through the next slide, please. So there's a lot of good ideas out there, and people in my time in the community, people have come to me and said, I've got this great idea, but I can't see which challenge it fits into. And some of that was saying, maybe later there'll be a challenge for you. So this challenge is designed to maybe catch all those challenges, all the great ideas that people have. I remember back in Fund 3, there was one challenge, one proposal of somebody wanting to do a sticker run through Europe, and he was coming from Africa. And he just had it in a random challenge, and it got a low score. But I personally voted for it because I wanted to see him have that opportunity to do that. And I think it would be great that this challenge now exists that gives that opportunity. So it's definitely to catch those ones that are missing from elsewhere. And sometimes there's some challenges that might be lost from previous funds. So this can be the place for those as well. Like our favorite one, distributed decision making, doesn't appear in Fund 7, but maybe we'll see some interesting proposals in here. Next slide then. So yeah, we just covered off on what does it look like. So we really want to see these exist. And part of this came from a challenge that I proposed called Random and Wacky. So I've merged with Victor's idea for just a general MISC challenge, but it was nice it would be strange to see what people can come up with. And I'm looking forward to working with people who don't fit elsewhere. Next slide, please. No, it didn't have our contact details, but we started a Discord channel. But we started a Discord channel where you can come and find us under Fund 7 Miscellaneous Challenge. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. Yeah, the last slide, I don't think it was showing there, but someone can pop it in the chat below. And that was actually good timing because I needed to stop sharing and reshare it again with voice, because next two presentations are with video, not the live presenters. And Phil, big shout out. It's glad to see you finally, who you really look like. So I think everybody's rooting for you. So that was a big announcement reveal, number one. Love it.
Great. I'll put the Discord in the chat. Thanks, Danny, for driving this.
Okie dokie. And now I'm gonna try to share that again. And you should see the video and hopefully also the sound. So that's the next challenge.
How do we encourage local community hubs to drive adoption and awareness of Cardano in the next 6 months? Without users on the ground level, we are building niche products, serving mostly technical people with blockchain expertise. Local community hubs across the world where the average person can take part in their own language and with their own cultural understanding.
Out of the world's approximately 7.8 billion inhabitants, 6.45 billion do not speak English. People living in the Western world tend to forget this fact regularly, and many of us have never even considered it. Let's consider it now. Let's start to build an ecosystem that is truly global, allowing everyone to participate to the best of their ability. When you drive adoption at the ground level, you are doing more than just building cool products. You are empowering people to change their lives in ways they could have never imagined by themselves.
This is your opportunity to submit your proposals for funding. To propose solutions and methods of introducing the benefits of the Cardano ecosystem to your part of the world. We are looking for the best ideas from around the world, and our challenge team is ready and waiting to help you to refine your proposals for the Cardano community. Do not hesitate to put forward your ideas however undeveloped, and we are here to support you throughout the process of the Catalyst project.
To get started, all you need to do is visit cardano.ideascale.com and look for a challenge, Scale Up Cardano's Community Hubs. If you have any questions, you can join us on Telegram at Cardano Community Hubs.
One of your challenge team advisors are available to you throughout the process. Feel free to ask any questions you have.
We look forward to hearing from you.
Woo! Look at the video production. That's awesome. Very well done.
Yes, it's stepping up the game. And I think the next, so there's a bunch of slides as well that were included in there. So we'll be sharing that later on. But since there was a video, there is no actual presentation. But then the next one, I believe, is the nation building dApps, which is also a video. So let's see if we can fire that one as well.
Awesome.
Everyone, my name is Khashriar, and I would like to thank you for your interest in this introductory presentation on behalf of the Nation Building Decentralized Apps Challenge team. Today we'll be discussing the potential of smart contract-enabled government services. Trusted registries serve as the backbone of bureaucracy and enable value creation for citizens. Identification systems, notarized documents, property deeds, census records, business licenses, to name a few, are examples of these vital building blocks of the modern state. Today, lack of robust infrastructure in this area disproportionately affects the most vulnerable populations, from identity theft and destruction of paper records to general inefficiencies associated with centralized data management. Access to government services is limited for many communities across the globe. With the advent of blockchain and smart contract technologies, public institutions can improve the security, privacy, integrity, and availability of records, which in turn can improve government services and increase the public's trust in institutions. This challenge is looking for proposals that address the need for robust government services and introduce novel solutions to improving these areas of interest for both citizens and governments. As an industry, we have so far placed a disproportionate amount of focus on financial services. With the launch of smart contracts on Cardano, now is the time to showcase the wide-ranging potential of distributed ledger technologies when it comes to improving the day-to-day concerns of the public. In our opinion, success is defined by the acceleration of solutions that address an overlooked need while being aware of the history of technocratic interventionism in underserved communities. Providing a support infrastructure for critical government services is less about dictating what we believe to be the correct approach and more about helping stakeholders achieve their goals with confidence. Funding proposals that move with purpose and inspire confidence, as opposed to the disruption mantra of move fast and break things, can create sustainable and long-lasting change for the most vulnerable. Modernizing bureaucracy can unlock the potential of a population, and that represents the essence of this challenge. We invite interested parties to investigate e-government systems in operation today, consult with existing efforts within the community such as IOHK's Atala Prism, and read the research on the most underserved aspects of e-government infrastructure. Thank you for your interest. On behalf of the team, we welcome you to continue the conversation on Discord.
All right.
Great. That is a huge challenge. And we've had some focus in Africa, and there's from the community, we've got Latin America stepping up, Grow Latin America, Grow Cardano, $500,000 in funds toward that goal, which is awesome. And Gustavo, will you be presenting for this challenge team?
I think
no, Alex actually.
Alex, great. Thank you so much.
Oh man, this is awesome. Congratulations to all the challenge team. The work we are doing is amazing. I'm thrilled. So I have the honor here to present our Grow Latam, Grow Cardano challenge. We have like $500,000, which is kind of an amazing amount of funds that will leverage and give opportunities to our almost 662 million people in 33 countries, which is Latin America, which usually commonly mistakenly by a country in itself. We have a huge and diverse amount of people that are waiting for opportunities to be able to impact their own world, and by doing that, impact our world for the better. So next slide, please. Here in Latin America, there is a very interesting place. I bet some of you already know some of them because of the papers and some of them because we live here. We have a huge problem with corruption. We have a lot of poverty. Around 30% of our population is under the poverty line. We have a kind of a record on corruption among many countries in the world. We also have a culture which is very centralized, very huge and powerful minorities that kind of dictate the rules. And that's for a very basic way of living based on extraction. And even though we care a lot about our lands and our ecosystem, that creates a lot of problems with the pollution that we are generating. But on the other side, we are very unique and talented people. When we have the tools, we demonstrated that we provide the world with amazing things like chocolate that I bet you all enjoy, fingerprints, and also pasteurization. So all these diverse people that live here, mixture, all together, living with very low racial problems, we have a unique thing that is our passion. We drive by passion, and we love to have the opportunity to be here, engaging our people, giving their funds to create a unique set of tools and using technology in terms of advancing forward our civilization and empowering our people. And as you see on the right-hand side, we love cryptos. So we are on the top of the world of admitting that we buy and own crypto. Next slide, please. Next slide.
So I think it shows on mine. Yeah, it's delayed. Sorry.
There we go. So success look like by attracting people with her herd in Latin America to be able to grow our ecosystem in Cardano and the community, increase the volume of proposals originated by Latin Americans so far. Even though we are several Latinians here in the Cardano community, there are very low amount of proposals presented by Latino people. Generate an impact in Latin American communities in all these aspects that we talked about before in the different ecosystems, or the challenge, contribute to the increase of Latinos' quality of life that we really need it now. There are a lot of people suffering. I recently read that we have like 30% of the world's deaths by the COVID. And this is a shame, totally a shame. And we could impact on that. And we also like to raise awareness of the blockchain and Cardano in the region as well. So we became the top blockchain and community here on the crypto side. Next slide. Sorry, I'm very passionate and kind of mixing around. So there we have our challenge team. We have Gustavo, which is Brazilian living in Germany. Myself, Sebastian, which is Colombian, and Rodolfo, which is Argentinian as well. There you have our Discord and our emails, more than free to join us. We also have a Discord channel on the Catalyst community, and we love people to get in touch and help us to drive this through and be successful. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you for stepping up to the challenge. This is so exciting to see such a global embrace of all these ideas and proposals, and having leadership like yourself move forward and help move that along. Thank you. The last one we have for today, and we have a lot of others we'll cover in the next week, but the last one is for connecting the Japanese community. And I believe it's Sophie who's presenting that.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so the last challenge for today is connecting the Japanese community. So this is all about how do we connect with the Japanese community and help include them in Catalyst. So the challenge is a total budget of 50,000. So it's a bit of a smaller challenge. If we go to the next slide, we'll quickly address why this challenge is needed. So Japan was a very early adopter of the Cardano project. There was engagement from the start, and it's a country that is fairly open towards new technological innovations and blockchain innovation. So there's a lot of potential there, and there's an active community with a willingness to engage. But there's some hurdles often that make it more difficult to engage, that were addressed earlier as well, including language. So all the other members of the team are all active members from the Japanese community, but right now it's 4 a.m. over there, so it's difficult for them to engage in these kind of events, and they'll be representing this challenge in the Eastern Town Hall. And that already highlights some of the topics that could be addressed in such a challenge. How do we transfer information between these different communities? I think that can bring us to the last slide to quickly highlight the potential success of this challenge. I'd like to see proposals that help grow the community in Japan as it is already there, but we always want to see more adoption. And most importantly is focusing on finding ways to improve the communication between different communities. And this can also include solutions that might be, in the end, transportable to other languages as well. And finally, of course, an increased engagement from the Japanese community in Catalyst, both in proposers, but also more engagement from voters and different ways also in challenge teams. So that's what we hope to see here.
Great, thank you so much, Sophie. And perhaps you can put into the chat the best way to get in touch with the team that's driving the Japanese Community Fund or Challenge. That would be great. So thank you to everyone that stepped up to the challenge. We had 90+ people that put their hat in the ring to become part of a challenge team. So thank you so much as we're running this experiment, as we're building this out and making the ecosystem better. We really appreciate your time and dedication to that. And with that, we're going to be moving into our next topic, and it will be driven by Kriss, related to Catalyst natives. And Kriss, I'm not sure if you'll be presenting that, or maybe Danny, if you...
I will ask Danny to drive slides if that's okay, as there's only a couple.
Roger. Save
me changing my view. Everybody's well done, such a great job in breakneck speed, both to sort of stick to time, but also the timelines to get prepared for presenting all those challenge team statements, right? We're bowled over by everybody's enthusiasm week by week. This community just gets even better and stronger and more capable of being able to deliver on the vision and mission that we're setting out. So I want to talk to you more about Catalyst natives. Dor and Charles and the team, we've been seeding this idea for quite some time now, certainly since Summit. And I want to talk a little bit more about it. Okay, there's so many challenges to solve, right? And I think there's a number of starting points to sort of consider. And I think we just need to sort of touch on these. How can we use Catalyst and to help make Cardano really, truly transformative to benefit the whole world? And how can we help others to propel blockchain innovation forward and deliver solutions to their own challenges? Because I think we need to be real that within our community, which is growing day by day, we've got a lot of innovation and creativity and energy to get the job done. But maybe we need outside help, or maybe we need to expand and widen what we're doing to be able to involve more great minds and great ideas. And then how do we inspire many communities to participate in governance and contribute during this revolution in collective intelligence and creativity? And this is what I think Catalyst Natives is an experiment to try to unpack. So Catalyst is an innovation marketplace. It's an engine of ideas. Everybody comes together to solve problems, but you can't do everything yourself while building. And so we want to open this up, and we want to help native tokens, native asset tokens, and in time, other blockchain projects, and then other sorts of organizations to really harness the power of Catalyst and bring a lot of new insights and minds together. Next slide, please. And the reason why we're doing this, beyond what we've just talked about, is that we get to benefit from other problems, to learn from other people and create a collaboration squared effect, an ecosystem of ecosystems, and broaden this network effect that really creates new opportunities for those that choose to come and participate. So we really want to cast this net far and wide. And this is to really support adding legitimacy to what we're doing, not just to Catalyst, and not just to Cardano and the ecosystem, but legitimacy to the process of distributed decision-making, and really demonstrate that we as a collective have the capabilities to really change the world. And really to not just keep this siloed within the Cardano community, which is exciting enough as it is, with all the challenges that everybody's going to be addressing. We really want to bring everybody up together. And so with that in mind, we're announcing this new collaboration And I would like to invite Dr. Nir Arazi from Coti to join us. And Nir, if you're around, come and just quickly say a quick hi, and then we'll...
Hi, hello, I'm around, of course. Very, very excited.
Amazing, Nir, thank you. And I'm going to ask Danny to play the video that we've got, and then we'll come back and have a quick chat.
Great. Hello all, my name is Nir Arazi. I'm Coti's Chief of Operation, and I'm very excited to be here and about Coti being the first company to launch a Catalyst native fund. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to enrich our creativity and find new innovative ways to add value to the Cardano ecosystem, Coti community, and the world. I will present you the challenge for tonight. The challenge, scaling AdaPay by helping small and medium enterprises to start accepting ADA payments. Or in other words, create an AdaPay plugin using AdaPay's API that can easily integrate into e-commerce platforms such as Shopify, WooCommerce, and others. Short brief about AdaPay for those who are not familiar with it. AdaPay is a complete payment gateway developed by Coti that allows any merchant onboarded into the solution to accept ADA as payment method. Merchants can simply accept ADA as a form of payment and instantly settle the funds received on their own private wallet. Moreover, it enables merchants to manage all transactions in real time. About the challenge. Many small and medium enterprises currently using e-commerce platforms would like to accept ADA payments, but don't have the knowledge or resources to make the integrations. We expect the teams involved in the challenge to create an innovative plugin or extension to help these companies accept ADA payments with seamless integration by adding a plugin into their site. The plugin will be integrated into the current AdaPay system on the one hand and support different e-commerce platforms on the other. The teams proceeding with the challenge will receive an API key to our ADA payment system that will allow them to receive and send payments with ADA over the Cardano testnet, the full AdaPay API documentation, which includes endpoints to create payment requests and to withdraw funds, as well as a webhook to notify them of any ongoing activity regarding the payment request. The total funding for this challenge will be $100,000 paid in Coti tokens. Why is the solution to this challenge beneficial? Firstly, a wide integration of AdaPay would offer the ability to make fast, cheap, secure transactions on large scale for benefit of both merchants and consumers around the world. Secondly, solving the challenge will bring more blockchain, non-related business into being a part of the Cardano ecosystem. It will also create an additional utility to the ADA token and will incentivize people to trade and hold ADA in case they want to purchase or donate without using their credit cards. Solving the challenge will offer merchants, regardless of their size and resources, as well as common users, the ability to have an easy ADA payment solution. How does success look like? We are looking for solutions that will offer user-friendliness, simplicity of integration, scalability, and security. Extra points will be given to a slick and flawless plugin solution and for the ability to integrate to as many e-commerce platforms as possible. I wish you good luck, good evening, and stay Coti.
Yay, that was awesome. So Neil, we're gonna have a quick chat now, and I guess why don't you just first of all introduce yourself a little bit and just tell us what the genesis of this collaboration has been about.
Well, I'm very excited. This is a marvelous event, a lot of inspiration, and you're really conquering the world. It's greatness. It's greatness, and bringing everything, including Latin America, Japan, and doing so many good things. As I said, my name is Neil. I'm Coti's COO, and you know, the partnership with the Cardano and now with the Catalyst Native Fund is really putting us on, you know, on collaboration and greatness. We are very happy with it, and we hope to inspire. We hope to you know, scale up the use of cryptocurrencies, of DeFi, and to get to the vision of all of us doing good to the world.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Thank you for a great introduction. So this is the first experiment for Catalyst Natives where we're really trying to encourage not just the Cardano community to come and play and participate, right? So I guess for those that are part of the Coti community currently, what could you say to them about Catalyst and the nature of this collaboration? And how would you want them to participate?
I would say it is a very, very exciting news for you know, for Coti community. Coti community is the base of what we are built on. We can't do anything without our community, and we appreciate everyone that is here listening. And I just invite them to participate in the challenges, not only AdaPay challenge, but all the rest of the challenges, to combine the communities and just to do things the best we can. And I think we're actually going for the stars here.
Absolutely. There's this really great aspect of Catalyst that allows anybody that's got an interest just to come and participate. So you can be a voter, but you can also not just you know, vote, but you could influence the voting decisions by joining as a community advisor and doing reviews of the proposals that come through these challenges. And the best thing about that is that you're incentivized and rewarded by to do so. And by participating, you actually earn Coti tokens in this instance. And yeah, this is all along the lines of this experiment at Catalyst Natives. How do we use the Catalyst protocol to benefit other sorts of projects? So can I just ask you, how do you sort of imagine that maybe the winners of this challenge might collaborate with Coti as the sort of weeks and months go on?
I think you know, we're in Coti. We're building new stuff all the time, and we will invite the winners to, you know, to have some of our more intimate structures and code, and we will just hug them in order to, you know, to make our products better for the world, and we will invite them in with the open hands to see what they can come out with. And we are so grateful for this opportunity. And you know, Catalyst is it's just an amazing idea of how to get ideas and how to get things done with the help of everyone, of many people.
Absolutely. Many hands make light work, right?
Yeah.
So I guess final question, any advice for potential applicants?
I would suggest learn a little bit about AdaPay, look into it, and also search for the common grounds of, let's say we are pointing it at e-commerce platforms now. So I would search for a common ground between a lot or the major e-commerce platforms, and try to make this idea for plugin one that doesn't answer one e-commerce platform, but actually can answer to a couple or more, and the rest is about product and about making it slick and nice and flawless and easy to facilitate. We want the users to be able to use their ADA for life.
That's awesome. And yeah, this I think the beautiful thing about this challenge is that there's enough budget available that we're not expecting that there's going to be just one solution to this challenge, right? There's going to be a handful of ideas that are hopefully going to be voted in, and then that makes a number of different options that are going to be available, hopefully, to integrate AdaPay into e-commerce and retail outlets next year, right? Like in a matter of weeks, what it amounts to, right? Or certainly short months. But Nir, I want to first of all just say from the Catalyst team and the Cardano community, we're thrilled to be working with you. And I'm really looking forward to see how this collaboration takes shape, not just for Fund 7, but hopefully for more engagements beyond this. And for those that want to stick around after Town Hall, we're going to be running a question and answer session where you guys that join us can continue the conversation with us and ask questions to Nir and the team. So yeah, thank you so much, Nir.
Thank you very much, Kriss. Thank you very much.
All right, Dor's gonna, I think you can advance us.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Hope it's gonna, okay. Sorry about that, 1 second. All right, so after we understood all the diversity of challenges, and there's more coming next week, and of course, you can all go to a Discale and already click and learn about all the challenges, not just those presented today. And we're going to talk about the first week of Catalyst and how does it look like. So starting tomorrow, we're launching the insight sharing phase. Okay, so insight sharing is about understanding the problem and sharing not proposals, but initial ideas and thoughts and information and knowledge about it. So all of us who are working on the solutions have a much more complete picture of the puzzle before we're starting to jump with specific solutions. So we're asking everybody to get into specific challenges that, as shown on the Discale platform, and share their perspectives. First of all, when you look at a specific challenge from one of these challenges presented, what kind of gaps do you see in how this challenge is currently addressed, right? So for every problem we have, it's not, there are already some solutions in play, right? There's already people are trying to solve it somehow, even if it's not completely like a perfect solution. Where are the current solutions lacking? Okay, so this opens up the thought and the opportunities for the others to come with insights about what can be done or what can be improved. And then the second one is, do you have an insight about how to address the challenge? Okay, so do you have some special information or insights or a fact or a question that you think that by sharing with others, by exposing them to that, they can come up with better solutions and maybe a deeper understanding of the problem that's at the heart of the challenge. There's actually quite a lot of, I think a lot of people asking like, why can't we just start to jump in and propose solutions? Why do we need to spend a week thinking about the problem? So the science shows us that when you understand the problem from multiple perspectives before proposing a solution, you're gonna come up with more impactful proposals. In fact, there's been a research team led by Anne Majzak and Arvind Malhotra that really showed that in all sorts of in crowdsourcing innovation projects, when you actually spend the first week on thinking about the problem before jumping to conclusions, you see a 26% rise in the impact of chosen proposals. Okay, like how much they're rated for impact. Okay, so it's very clearly that this thing is might not be super intuitive, especially if you're just like you have your own idea and you just want to jump ahead and propose it and start working on it to think about the problem first, but then you have to reflect that actually you see that that's a more effective way of working. So we really encourage people to adopt that. So how does it work? How do you share your insight? So you go to cardano.idscale.com website, you create an account there, you look at the list of challenges, you pick you pick a challenge or several challenges that you have an insight to share about, and then you go ahead and post your insight. Anybody can post an insight. Just to give you a few examples, for example, in Fund 5, we had a challenge called Developer Ecosystem. So we had the I. Callaghan 74 that talks about like how that many projects will start to formulate trying to solve the same problem. He proposed that there's a committee to push collaborators together to tackle the common theme as an incentivized co-collaboration. This introduction team could be institutional in building successful teams to tackle issues and create a common theme projects. Teamwork makes the dream work. So how much, it's nice to reflect about this one because it's almost like, half a year ago, this person was suggesting some kind of a prototype of what we see now with challenge teams, like teams that help coordinate between different proposals. Another insight that was proposed by Stephen Pirois, I hope that's like how you pronounce it, that given the state, so he adds another guiding question for the challenge. Given the state of the Cardano ecosystem today, what roadblocks do you see during the development and deployment of your proposal? Such question forces the proposer to think deeply about the developed approach, and those who address the problem seriously gives more details for reviewers and voters. So he actually almost gives you a bit of a framework to think about that problem in a more, let's say, like a more focused way. So these are the gifts, that we give each other as we start to innovate, that can really, really make a huge impact on what we see at the end of the process. So one important thing to mention here is an insight is not a proposal, okay? Proposals are gonna start, we're gonna open proposals for submission next week. This week, it's a much more, we cast a much wider net, and we just ask everybody, even if you're not a proposer, you don't plan to be a proposer, if you think you have an insight that's relevant to the challenge, this is a great time to share it. At the end of the insight sharing phase, we're going to archive all the insights shared, and they will be displayed next to the challenge. So everybody can go back and read them and inform themselves and to help them prepare better proposals. So basically, this is what's going to happen this week. And then next week, we're going to open up the submission process for proposals to submit drafts. Then the next week, as I said before, there's going to be a refinement stage where we give each other feedback to improve proposals. Then a week to finalize your proposals given the feedback. Then another week for the community advisors to prepare reviews and assess the proposals by impact, clarity, and feasibility. And then a process of quality assurance, kind of reviewing the reviews, making sure the reviews are of good or excellent quality. And after that, we're jumping on to start voting which proposal is going to get the funding. So we welcome you all. Go ahead, start to submit your Fund 7 insights in IdeaScale. I think it should launch tomorrow. And also we have a Telegram channel for Catalyst announcements. We know this process can be, as we said in the first slide, can be a bit overwhelming, but we got your back. We have an announcement Telegram channel that just gives you week by week, kind of like the play-by-play of what's needed from you now, what's expected, referring you to documents that are necessary and guidelines to help you navigate this process that can, at the start, admittingly, can be a bit intimidating. Okay, but it's complex because it's complex. But we're here to give you tons of support to walk you through the journey, and you'll see in no time you will get used to it, and you will see the benefits of working in this way. And now I want to invite who's the Catalyst Circle representative that's going to come up and present this?
It'll be me today.
Nori, yay, yes. Welcome.
All right, thank you. So just an update on what we're doing in the Catalyst Circle. You can probably jump 3 slides. We're gonna go past the intro slides since we're short on time today, 1 more. And then, yes, so we're on the hunt for a CC admin treasurer. So if you have any treasury or...
Nori, maybe yes. Can you tell us in a few sentences, what is the Catalyst Circle in case you're...
All right.
For those of us who are now joining and new people here.
Okay, for the new people, the Catalyst Circle is an experiment on the governance of Project Catalyst. We have representatives from IOG and the Cardano Foundation, but we also have 5 elected positions. We have the community advisors, toolmakers and maintainers, the general aid of voters, the funded proposers, and the stake pool operators. I think I got everybody. And our current circle also has support from what's called the admin team. A bunch of people stepped up to be facilitators as well as secretaries to help make their meetings run smoothly and take care of some of the administrative details on the backside between meetings. And now that we've been funded in Fund 6, we're looking for a treasurer. And so, yeah, so if you do have any experience with being a treasurer, experience in accounting, and with Project Catalyst and Ada Wallets in particular, please do apply. The link's in the slides. On the next slide, we have a few expectations on what you'll be doing. You'll be creating an accounting system, and you'll be working with all of the CC admin related financial operations and activities, and most important, submitting a CC accountant proposal for Fund 7 so that role can be compensated because we think it is a vital role. Next slide, please. So just the update, the first Circle V2 meeting will be November 11th, which is tomorrow. So both Circle V1 and Circle V2 will be attending. So we'll have a really big meeting just to hand stuff off and have a transition. And then the Circle V2 will move forward from there. Next slides. So we just had our election for Circle V2, and we had a number of nominations for each of the positions. Community advisor actually only had 1 final nominee. So Kenrick was handily winning that seat. Next slide, please. We'll go through these really fast. So as shown, Kenrick won 100% of the votes for community advisor. Congratulations. For funded proposers, Stephen Wittenstall won that seat. Next slide. For the general ADA holders, Allison Fromm will be representing the general ADA holders on the circle. Next slide. And then for stake pool operators, Raymond Mata won the seat amongst the stake pool operators. And then for tool makers and maintainers, we actually missed the fact that there was a tie during the actual election. So we had prepared a runoff election, and we unfortunately didn't get to run that. So Tivo and George were consulted. They got together and they came up with an agreement between the two of them who would be the toolmaker and maintainer representative, and that will be moving forward Tivo Sachs. Next slide, please. So here is your Catalyst Circle version 2 elected members. Matthias for the Cardano Foundation, which is also a new thing. Community or Cardano ambassadors are now organizing to represent Cardano Foundation in this group. So we have Matthias as a Cardano Foundation ambassador stepping into the circle, which is awesome to see. Kenrick Nelson for the community advisors, Stephen Winstall, funded cohort, Allison Fromm for the general ADA voters, Harris Warren will be representing IOG. Stake pool operators will be Raymond Mata and toolmaker and maintainer Tivo Sachs. Congratulations, everybody, for winning. And then excited to see the new contributions from IOG and the Cardano Foundation. It'll be nice to have some fresh faces around. All right, congratulations, everybody. Here's some links to our Trello Git book and some of the idea scale links. Check them out if you're curious. And I think that brings us to the end.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Nori.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're about to finish the boring frontal presentation part of the town hall and almost moving to the after town hall, the interactive fun part. And you know, just wanted to share with you a link to every week we meet here and go through the next stages and make sure that everybody's like informed and give updates and socialize. It's really fun. So save this registration link. That's going to be a recurrent link. And we're going to re-meet November 17th at 6 UTC to talk about next week, to talk about the submission phase. And we're going to talk about a lot about how to submit proposals and what should be in them, etc. Also, I mean, also our team is continuing to grow. We're hiring for a bunch of positions. Please check it out. We'd love to see you candidates. Definitely looking for a lead UX product designer. Let's level up our UX game. Just like emphasizing that. And then also, of course, what you've seen in this town hall is merely the exposed side of the iceberg. There's a whole deeper, livelier community and activities going on, and we invite you to dive in. Okay, so maybe for those starting, maybe good to start with the announcements channel, and also subscribe to our mailing list, just for you to kind of keep tabs on what's going on. But then, then we have this like wormhole of community activity from looking at all the town halls in the past, looking at all the proposals, ideas, and insights. We have a Telegram group, kind of a support group where people can ask questions and get support. We have the Catalyst, the community-led Catalyst Discord. This is going much more into detail about speaking about specific proposals and defining specific roles and how to improve things. And it's a lot of stuff going on there. And also we have dedicated Telegram channels for community advisors, for proposal owners. There's also a Discord for the Catalyst swarms and the sessions, which you're gonna learn about one slide in the future. And we have a channel for bugs and testing that people are welcome to join if you want to early tests and give us some help us make production-ready software. We have a whole bunch of data, so very useful tool for proposers. Go to the dashboard, learn about past proposals that were funded, and a lot of statistics and how much funding they were asking, and et cetera, et cetera. It's a real treasure trove. And then also see all the funded proposals at a glance following this link. And moving to the Catalyst Swarm.
All right, I'm also sharing those slides. If you could let me share, I will put those up.
Sure.
All right, welcome to the after town hall. Here we go. So after town hall put on by Catalyst Swarm, I'm going to move through these really fast since we're really running long today. So first announcements, we have.
Sorry, I will run through the first announcement very fast.
Okay, all right.
There's a very special event. Can you just move one slide before? Because we have some people coming to Europe this month, especially Victor, which brought us to the situation to say from many people in Europe to say, hey, let's come together, let's meet each other. And then we met also Space of Urgency and Freiträume Stadt nach 8. They are organizing a conference in Berlin at the end of November. So we invited a bunch of people from different projects to join this conference. We have bridge builders, people from the Catalyst School, people from Swarm, from Eastern Town Hall, AIM, Jimmer Labs, and Spokra joining the conference. And next slide, please. And especially we have a 2 hours panel on the conference, introducing blockchain, Cardano, and Project Catalyst. From community members moving there, we are doing this on a volunteer base. Next slide, please. But one thing where we really would love your help, we want to support the conference artists. They're musicians, they're NFT artists, they're really nice people. And we would love everybody in the community, spend some love, spend some ADA. There's a wallet address on the slide, and we will contribute all gathered ADA to the artists of the conference. So yes, the panel will be recorded as well. There's a professional film team. So we'll share this with you as well and show what is going on the conference. And thanks for everybody showing up there.
Amazing. That sounds like it's going to be an incredible event. So if you're in the area or can get to Berlin, definitely show up. Just to go quickly, we have on the slides some announcements for some of the regular community gatherings for the Eastern Town Hall, November 6th at 9 a.m. UTC, Playermint Town Hall each Sunday at 1700 UTC. Gimbal Labs Playground, this happens at 1400 UTC every Tuesday. And Catalyst Swarm sessions, of course, every Saturday at 1500 UTC. So definitely check out the slide decks and the links if you're interested in any of those. Also an announcement, Catalyst Swarm is having Idea Fest for Fund 7 on December 18th and 19th at 1500 UTC. So proposers and community, please put that into your calendars because that's coming up. And these funds roll through really fast and it's relentless. So yeah, get your proposals on and get ready to present them. We have 150 presentation slots for Fund 7 and registration will begin on November 17th. All right, the moment you've been waiting for, the After Town Hall by Catalyst Swarm. So just to remind people, if you want to host your breakout room, you can take your slot. There's a link in the slides. There's a sign up form. You can host your own room after Town Hall, and we welcome everybody to contribute and host your own rooms. And the purpose of what we're doing here is to connect with other Catalyst community members, to participate in meaningful conversations and collaborations, and to catalyze new ideas, improve processes together. So it's a time to come together as a community and have face-to-face conversations. And today, the breakout rooms, since we're short on time, I'm just going to read them off, and then you can either play Social Butterfly and hop into the rooms to see what they're about, or stay at the ones that really call out to you. So we'll have Intro to Catalyst run by the Catalyst School. We're going to have a mini proposal workshop by TiVo. We have a Coti question and answer breakout by Kriss Baird. Oops. And then we have the Cardano Buds initiatives with John Huthmaker. Fusion DAO will have a room, and that's going to be run by Dwayne. Solide Cafe with Juan. Gamers Unchained with Marcin. Real5 Projects with Caroline Baltzer. Optimizing Onboarding with Henry Wales. Governance Archetypes with Nick Demuth. And then finally, the Newton Protocol with Mark Moore. Wow, I don't think we've had so many breakout rooms. We have a lot to choose from today, folks. So pick your favorites or hop around, be social butterflies if you need. And we will open up the breakout rooms here shortly. And if you need help, hang out in the main room and we will definitely help you get to the room that you want to get to. All right. Thanks, everybody. I will hand it back to Daniel.
Thank you, Nori. That's amazing. I don't know how are you guys going to choose which room to go to, but remember all of these rooms are actually recorded and then they're published online on the YouTube on the Catalyst Swarm. So thank you again, Nori. Sadly, this concludes the main town hall part today. Again, if you are on YouTube watching this live, please don't be shy to come down in person for a Zoom breakout session. You can find the link in the YouTube video description just below this window, and you'll be with us in a few moments. And for everyone who is out of time for today, once more, we appreciate you spending this time with us and your patience as we went and navigated those 2 hours. And we're going to look forward to having you here with us at the same time next week on Wednesday at 6 p.m. UTC. Till then, have a